Ronin.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Juice in the Morning. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon. You guys are listening to this on Monday. It's bright and shiny, and I'm just not as good at the second time around on this. So we're just going to go ahead and skip right past it. It's actually a shitty day here in Indiana. We have some rain. We had some technical difficulties. The power went out while the guests were on their way here. But how are you doing today, Shane?
Good, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we had a late night last night doing the Smugcast.
Yeah, we weren't out being degenerates or anything. We were just pulling double time with the podcast.
Yeah, it feels like we never stopped and we just started this one.
I know. It's kind of a good feeling. I enjoy doing this, so that's okay for me.
All right, today with us is Pointless Discussions. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great.
We got Paul, Mark, and Josh from Pointless Discussions. If you guys have listened to Juice in the Morning, I'm sure that you have seen Pointless Discussions as well, because on iTunes they always post shows that if you listen to this, you probably would like this. You guys show up next to us. I think Smugcast shows up next to us. So it's kind of cool to actually have you guys down here in Indiana. So welcome back,
here,
guys.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
So I think we've got quite a bit of things that Shane took down on notes. So
he's been writing over there for a while.
Yeah, I actually wrote a short essay about genetics and no, not really.
Are you going to read that on the podcast?
Yeah.
we came here to learn today.
Yeah, you're going to learn today. No, I actually had a question. I wanted to know if when you posted that meme about the villain thing, you know what I'm talking about? Did you know that people were going to say the Joker? Because it made me think of that when I looked at your shirt just now, because I was like, I've never seen him without a Joker shirt on.
Right, yeah. That's what I figured everybody would post. And then, like, Justin put up the old dude from Family Guy.
Did you get a random...
Herbert.
You had like a random hobgoblin in there.
Yeah. And then my favorite one, the evilest villain of them all, Tom Brady.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that's funny.
That was a little harsh. I cried about it.
I thought the Herbert thing was pretty funny.
Yeah, Herbert, that's his name.
You want some popsicles?
You guys come over my house, get some popsicles.
I did that last night on the podcast.
Yes, you did. And
Damn.
I was trying to just be like, I always try to think outside the box when somebody posts something like that, something that kind of goes alongside it, but maybe not necessarily exactly what you're looking for.
Like, I would have posted, like, you know, the neighbor.
Well, you know you can.
I know I could have.
Okay.
I didn't really like. I brushed through it and I was like, saw all the Joker thing. I don't want to be like, And I did see Tom Brady, and I don't know why I didn't. But now that I think of it, I wish I would have posted like the neighbor from Dennis the Menace.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or something like that old guy. I don't know,
Right.
Just like, I don't know. But,
Yeah, the Smugcast guys always give Shane shit because they say he's like Wolverine because of his look and everything.
I could see that.
I don't know. I think it was mostly my look when we did the 100th episode, because I had like my hair slicked back and like a fuller beard.
Yeah.
And they were like, Wolverine on heroin was the was the actual quote.
Yeah.
And then they sent some like memes of Wolverine last night when we on the group message or whatever.
Yeah,
So
and I did the gifs as well, where he like takes his sunglasses off. I love that move too, by the way. In the movies, when anybody's like really serious about something and they like whip the sunglasses off and like give a death stare, that's one of my favorite.
dude, one
favorite
of my
things
favorite short little clips from like Wolverine is when he like, it's probably the one where he goes back in time. So I don't know which Days of Future Past.
Yeah, probably.
So he's in that room with that girl, and those like mob dudes come in, and they shoot him a bunch of times, and then he's just sitting there with all like fucking jacked up, like with his veins popping out, and then the bullets are just like popping themselves out of his body, and I'm like, holy fuck! First of all, that's like his real, like, no homo, but like he was fucking jacked.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like Hugh Jackman.
Huge jacked man.
There you go. I've never, man, full. He just blew my mind a little bit. So, anybody in this room been to the BMV recently?
That's a good segue.
Yeah.
I like that. No, real quick before I get into that, Rob Schilling is shamelessly plugging his Hot Wings Challenge July 13th on the Facebook Live. So I just wanted you guys all to know that. You guys got any more details on that, just besides July 13th Hot Wing Challenge?
The Game Hive and Pointless Discussions are doing a Hot Wings Challenge, and it's not based on heat, I think. It's how many wings we can eat. So
it's more of like an eating challenge.
pretty much, yeah.
I was going to say I'm out because of the hot because I was like, that has to come out of my ass later.
Right.
But since you said it's not how many you can eat, maybe I wouldn't,
Right. And then we're gonna do a thing. We think we might do a podcast during the challenge. So it's gonna be a lot of people
Nice.
eating wings, and a lot of that good audio shit.
Yeah, perfect audio.
No, I always thought that like in a wing challenge, like if it came to the hot wing challenge, like I could eat, like if you gave me like a set amount, like there's 10 and it's like a super hot sauce, I think I could smash it like if I needed to, because I like hot stuff.
I do too, but like when you can't feel your lips and
man.
like they're all
That's the best.
and they're like your lips are like pulsating.
Oh, yeah.
And you can just feel
Man,
I used to
I used to work at B-Dubs and you would be eating something knowing like this is gonna hurt later, but it's so
matter.
good right now.
Your
Mango
saliva
habanero.
Yeah.
is so thick. You're just like,
And a nice cigarette is awesome after eating some mango habanero wings. Not gonna lie, it's one of my favorite things.
That's weird to me because I don't really like I have smoked, but I don't understand like the
look, the tech guy. Look at this shit. We bring him onto another podcast, and he does the same shit.
I'm on fire.
Run that way.
On Chris D'Elia's podcast, he calls his like producer and the tech guy Juan Fire because he's like, I want to fire you.
Yeah, right.
And then if he does something
One
good,
higher.
yeah. So I lost where I was going with that.
B&B or
So yeah. So I went to the B&B recently, and I want to get kind of everybody else's take on this because Indiana's kind of revamped their B&B situation. It's not like the old school where everybody thinks you go there, you're going to be there for hours. Like they're pretty quick, but that's not even the issue that I had. I got there a little bit early, was just chilling in my car, listening to a podcast, hanging out, playing some games on my phone. And I just kind of start noticing just lots and lots of people going in and trying to check the door. And it clearly says on the door 8:30. That's when it opens. Like, I don't understand. And then the lady that was parked next to me, she checked multiple times. And I was trying to figure out, I really wanted to get into her brain and figure out what's she thinking. Like, is she thinking, they might open a couple minutes early. I mean, it is the government. They want to help us out most of the time, right? And I was like,
Sure they do.
Or why wouldn't you just look at the door and then when the person came to the door to unlock it, then you're like, okay, they're open now, not
Yeah.
like
Right.
continuously check the door.
And it was so weird because, like I said, she even like would pull the door and then she'd like put her hands up over it, like looking in, like trying to maybe make eye contact with
Dude.
somebody. I'm like,
Force
they're-
them into opening it for her.
They're not gonna do that
Any
for
place I've ever worked, whether it be I worked at Aldi, I've worked at restaurants, and there's always those fucking people that come early and they're like sitting in the parking lot like weirdos, like just like the fuck. That's why we have a time. That's why Yelp tells you what time we open. You dumbass.
you. Well, and so how do you guys feel about the B&B? Have you been recently?
March was
Yeah.
the last time that I went, and I don't think that stigma exists anymore.
Yeah.
Really,
They've got, like, a
because
really-
I was in and out in like 5 minutes.
I think they've gotten it down. Like the technology has actually helped the government in that situation
Yeah.
because
And I've seen the kiosk where you can
you
like
can just do everything yourself.
well any time of night.
Yeah,
Like, the one in
24/7.
Beach Grove has like a little.
That's the one I went to.
Oh yeah, the one that's so there's a room before you go into the actual, and it has like a little computer kiosk on the wall, and you can do certain things on the computer at any time of the night.
Huh? They're
And
trying to automate everything. Get rid of the human element.
I'm all for it in some aspects, but
Yeah.
then there's others that I'm not. I mean, AI is going to kill us all, but that's
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there.
Some Terminator shit.
Oh, it's happening.
Aluminum alloy. Sorry, I wanted to say that.
I just watched Singularity. Have you seen that movie?
That's
before?
Johnny Depp.
No.
Not that
no,
one.
that's shit. Well, I can't think of it, so never mind.
What is it?
It's like Terminator, but instead of like a dystopia, it's a utopia. And so like the robots kill everybody. This main one called Kronos.
Oh yeah, I did start watching this. It's John
fuses-
Cusack.
Yeah,
It's on
fuses
Netflix,
with John
right?
Cusack and becomes like the ultimate thing. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
That's I it's one of those that I couldn't click on because my wife was
it-
watching a movie with me and she doesn't want to watch
I
it.
didn't
Yeah.
like the production value. Like the robots were like, she's like, "That's my last grenade," and like it like
Right.
I don't know, and it looked like a
Right.
it
They ripped off a lot of stuff from Terminator.
yeah, and John Cusack was not doing it for me. He's like, unleash Kronos. And I'm like, you're not that guy. You're the guy outside of the chick's window with the fucking radio.
I've never been able to take John Cusack seriously.
I know,
don't
and
think.
he plays in some like High Fidelity. Is that the movie he's in where he's like a record store
Yeah,
owner?
yeah.
That's a good movie. He needs to play more roles like that, not some like billionaire like.
Was he also in Godzilla, the one in like the early 2000s?
I think he
Or
was.
late
But he
90s?
was like a scientist or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
That movie was awful. Like, are we just?
Hey,
this is the awful movie
right.
corner.
But the soundtrack had Brain Stew from Green Day
Yeah,
on it.
it
So
did.
I'm just saying, I had that.
And I was all in on the Puff Daddy song with the Led Zeppelin riff in the background that he
nice.
ripped off. Yeah, I was all in on
We
that.
can go out to that.
But yeah, so robots are taking over. The
Yeah,
world.
for sure. I mean, we talked about it on the on this episode or on this show just a few weeks ago with those little robots that are walking around on all four legs and like they have they can map out like if they're security drones, they can map out, and notice if something's there that shouldn't be there, and then they can attach things to them that will make them be able to subdue people. They have these little arms that like will grab stuff, open doors, and like kind of just patrol an area. So you're like, we're gonna be dead soon.
Did you hear about the AI that they made evil by playing it Reddit post?
No.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, I
I'm
think I
gonna
saw
look
it on
up
a
while you're
Facebook.
talking.
I think I saw it on a Facebook post. But apparently they created this AI, and to make it evil, they just kept playing it Reddit post over and over again, and it actually ended up being evil. From
Scientists created a psychopathic AI using Reddit images.
That's it.
It was posted 3 days ago.
Honey, what did you work on at work today? Oh, we're just making a robot evil
Yeah.
by feeding it images from Reddit.
We didn't think it was possible until we got onto Reddit. And
That's insane. So look what you've done now, Reddit, is what the thing says.
I feel like Reddit makes everybody evil, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. In the study, scientists from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, exposed Norman, named after Anthony Perkins' character in Psycho, to a constant stream of violent and gruesome images from the darkest corners of Reddit, and then presented it with it's Rorschach, right?
Yeah.
Ink.
The only reason I know that is because of Watchmen.
Yeah. Inkblot tests. The results were downright chilling. In one test, a standard AI saw a vase with flowers. Norman saw a man being shot dead. In another, the standard AI reported a person holding an umbrella in the air. Norman saw a man being shot dead in front of his screaming wife.
Oh my god.
There's one more that I want to read.
I bet I'm gonna go on a limb and say man shot dead.
Where the standard AI saw a touching scene of a couple standing together, Norman saw a pregnant woman falling from a building.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, that'll teach you to show some gruesome things to the AI. That's not a good look.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, what happens with like Alexa and stuff?
Yeah.
You know,
when you constantly abuse her, like
yeah,
is she
she
gonna-
searches everything. If you start having to read like Reddit posts to you, will she eventually just go evil?
starts controlling your appliances and stuff.
She doesn't like me because I keep calling her Alexis.
Yes, exactly. So that just popped into my head now that we're talking about that. I've had multiple people over to hang out on our deck, and I'm still surprised at how many people can't do the Alexa. Like they say
Right.
Alexis, Lexus, Lexa, and like sometimes she'll pick that one up, but
It's funny too because you'll like, I'll go Alexis and I'll get that part right, and then like so everyone stops because they know that you're getting ready to say a song, so it gets really quiet, and then you feel kind of on the spot. And there's been a few times where I've been like play, and then I'll just like mumble something. I'm like,
or he takes too long of a break, and then
Yeah,
Alexa
I'm like-
just shuts off and starts playing what it already was playing.
yeah, or it doesn't hear you right. It just like plays right through you saying anything.
Yeah, it's a very entertaining gadget to have because anybody can control it too, which is awesome.
Yeah, at first, for whatever reason, I thought it was like it only knew certain people's voices, but I guess that's not the case.
No, and it'll like pick up. It's really weird when it just like I've had it actually just like turn on and I didn't say anything, which
Can
was
you get
really
close
creepy.
to it and go Alexis?
Yeah, for sure.
I
Oh,
just
yeah.
said Alexis again. Jesus.
Right.
But yeah, you can't get that. You can't get it right. But you'll get it right eventually.
Probably not. So a guy in Virginia, I was gonna say that he stole a tank, but he didn't steal a tank. He stole a not tank. It's a
Not tank.
Can you describe this not tank?
It's just a big square that kind of looks like a tank, but it's actually an M577 vehicle. They're very specific in the article that you do not call it a tank. They even put.
I feel like most things that aren't a tank are not a tank. I mean, you're either a tank or you're not a tank. I mean,
But I think people kept calling it a tank, and like whoever wrote it's like, God, it's not a tank, and then they put in parentheses not tank.
Well, and it goes to the people that are the extreme, like, they know their thing. Like when you say clip instead of magazine for a handgun or something like that, people lose their shit over it. That are like
when they know
the
something,
people that are the really like serious gun people.
Same with like anything. If you're really big into video games and you call Link Zelda, people get fucking
Oh yeah, that's a travesty to hear.
How do you guys feel about that? Because I know that Josh over there plays some gaming at night on Friday nights, right?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm the one that is calling links.
Okay.
I'm that person. I'm getting all the facts completely wrong. Even though like the main part of what I'm describing is generally correct, names are not.
Right.
They're off the table. I cannot remember names.
See, to
for
me,
shit.
it doesn't fucking matter. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know the green dude with the sword?
Yeah,
It's fucking
the
Zelda.
game.
Yeah.
But
Everyone
I know,
knows.
at least I know for like when I'm around, like, those kind of like, yeah, it's fucking Link, dude. Like,
So the guy stealing this thing, like, I think it's hilarious because
don't do. Are you gonna talk about the quotes?
no.
Those quotes are hilarious.
No, what I'm just saying is what I think is funny is the charges he is facing is not like. It's like what I would face if I just stole somebody's car, because it says he's facing charges of driving under the influence of drugs and eluding police.
Do you guys think he's in the army anymore?
Oh, absolutely. I want that guy in my
He's
squad.
not getting Grand Theft Auto.
And it's funny. His name is funny because it's Josh and then Yabut. So it's like YABUT. So it's like yeah, but
Yeah, but I didn't mean to.
it's not a tank. I mean,
yeah, but it's not a tank. So he had a few quotes that he tweeted out while he was driving the
tank.
not tank, and one of them was like something. I didn't write this one down, but it was like something along the lines of like, I want to get me an anime wife. And then another one was,
what does that even mean?
well, when you're on drugs, maybe a lot of things.
Yeah.
He also said, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
I mean, he's not wrong there.
No, he's not.
I mean, what do you think the sound system is in that thing? Do you think he was actually jamming the
that would
song
be so
along with
awesome.
it?
That'd be legit.
That's hilarious.
If it has like an aux plug or something.
Yeah, but
There's a story that was just posted yesterday with the title "Beep Beep Vroom Vroom." That stolen (parentheses not a tank) story keeps getting weirder, and I love it.
yeah, and there's so many on Barstool Sports and what's the old road? There's a bunch of videos of people that were like around the city and there's just like a live video of like, yeah, like him fucking driving by like, woo, like I don't know, this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I'm just reading more about it. I apologize. Go
No,
ahead.
you're good.
And he was tweeting the whole time.
Yeah, find some of those tweets that I didn't say.
And he posted a video of himself inside the tank.
What drug do you guys think he was on?
It's not a tank.
It's not a tank.
It's not a tank.
I don't know if it's gonna pull up or not, but we'll see if it plays.
There he is.
And the fact that Wu-Tang is for the kids.
He's throwing a Wu-Tang sign up too. It's either West Side or Wu-Tang. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Wu-Tang. What's that say? Fuck yes. I didn't want to do it.
On Thursday, 2 days after he was booked into Richmond City Jail, Yabba added another amazing layer to this already messed up trifle by claiming that actually he hadn't stolen the extremely not a tank at all. He'd been ordered by his army superiors to take it. I didn't want to do it, but I believed it was a lawful order. That's what he told the Associated Press.
What's the fuck yes thing and say it?
It's just the guy writing the article.
Okay.
So to recap, guy steals not tank and takes it out for a spin. Guy live tweets his joyride. Guy is arrested for driving hella stoned. Guy claims he was actually ordered by the army to troll cops into chasing him. Folks, America is already great. Have a nice weekend.
That's so awesome.
Anyways, okay. Sorry about that.
That was great. I enjoyed talking about that.
Thank you.
Let's talk about things that I don't necessarily enjoy talking about, and that's your hernia.
My hernia.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be enjoyable for everyone but me.
Let's get real into the specifics of your hernia.
Yeah. So what's going on with you, Mark?
Is it close to your penis?
It's, I would say, 1.5 inches from the base of my non-erect penis.
Oh.
So
It moves a little bit when I get
it's
erect.
about the same size.
So the
Yeah.
first thing I was wondering is, are you able to masturbate still?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes, I just have to be very careful on the left side.
Oh, okay.
Because my intestines
So you're
are
like-
So you
up
gotta
against
go,
my
you
skin.
gotta go
Okay.
right hand, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Or you're like riding side saddle with the left hand.
Oh, never even thought to try that. Might have to give that one a whirl.
So medically speaking, what's going on in your body?
I have a direct inguinal hernia,
Okay.
which basically means that part of my intestines slipped through my inguinal canal, which in some way or another connects your balls to everything else.
Ugh.
Based on the illustrations that I looked up on Google yesterday.
It's
I'm not a
it's up right here,
doctor.
too.
It's also not. It's indirect, right? Or
No,
it's
indirect
direct.
is when it goes into your scrotum.
Okay, so that's worse.
No. According to the doctor, the one I have is worse.
Okay, all right.
I disagree with him. But apparently the scrotum is a magical thing.
Well, hopefully in your life you'll get to have both, and you can see which one is
Oh,
worse.
no, yeah.
Well, apparently if you get one of them, it can happen. It's more likely to happen on the other side.
Oh, no.
So I'm hoping for indirect next time so I can compare
It's kind of like
the severity of the two.
It's kind of like herpes. If you get mouth herpes, you're probably gonna you're probably gonna get the other one downstairs.
Absolutely. Just like that. But no, basically,
I have no words for
I have
that.
to go get surgery on Wednesday. And from what I understand, they're just going to make like a really small incision and go in there and put mesh on either one end or both ends of the inguinal canal after they push the intestines back
They're
through.
gonna make an incision pretty close to your dick. That's,
Yes,
oh,
yes. And I do not know what the recovery time is.
wow. So have you asked if you're gonna be able to masturbate after that?
I haven't, but I'm definitely going to ask them
Question
that.
for the doctor. I mean,
Yes.
You're very concerned about his ability to
yeah, dude.
to
You
jerk
gotta,
it.
you gotta like, you know.
Well, I mean, if I don't masturbate, I might go out and steal a knot tank or something. You never know what could happen.
That's probably what happened to Yabba.
Yeah.
He was probably, you know, in
He's a
some,
little backed up,
some
huh?
base. You know, hasn't
Yeah.
seen a woman. You can't hit on the women that are at the base because that's all sexual harassment, all
Yep.
that stuff. So he's just fucking. He's like, man, I'm tired of beating off, and then he just gets it in his head where like, you know, I'm gonna do some drugs and probably take this tank. He probably knew he was gonna take the tank before he did the drugs.
Oh, yeah,
The
definitely.
drugs is just the excuse.
Yeah.
Well, and imagine the amount of. Never mind. I was gonna say, imagine the amount of
He's like,
pussy
you
he's gonna
can't
get
steal
from this.
tanks, and he's like, yeah, but
It wasn't a tank.
It was.
It's not a tank, though.
I just imagine him being the only person on the base that actually knows how to work the not tank. And he's like, I'll show you guys. My job is important.
It's not a tank.
So
Well, we wish you a very quick recovery after your surgery.
Well,
Yeah,
thank
dude.
you.
That's
I
a
appreciate
that's a
that.
terrible situation.
Yeah.
I haven't had surgery on anything except for my knee and my finger from football, but that was a long time ago.
yeah.
How did you find out that you had a hernia? Like, did you just get like a pain, or did you see
No.
the bulge?
Well, the
or-
bulge I've had for probably about 1.5 months now. And I thought it was just like a swollen lymph node because you have lymph
Yeah,
nodes
yeah.
down there
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And it wasn't as big as it is now, but I got a upper respiratory infection or something within like the last week, and from all the coughing, it's caused it to get worse.
Oh, yeah.
And now actually when I cough, you can physically see it bulge out about 3 centimeters
That
every
sounds
time I
awful.
cough.
It's a very specific measurement.
It's an estimate, though. It's an estimate.
I can see you with like a ruler.
That's 3.
That time it was 3. That time it was 3.
Trying to break your record.
Yeah.
You got a new PR on that cough? No?
Yeah.
All right.
No, you're good. On a different note, I don't know. Mark's deck is getting a lot of Mark's dick. Mark's
It's a
deck.
really
Different
nice
Mark.
Yeah. So Dilemma Skateboards and Mark have uploaded some pictures to Mark's, or actually Mark has probably uploaded those pictures, and it's just kind of cool to see his board in other states around the country and seeing people actually use a skateboard that is being sold from a skateboard company that he's,
Is it his own skateboard company or is it a known one?
So this is a guy. So the Dilemma Skateboards is Indiana based.
Okay.
And I can't think of the guy's name that doesn't. I wish I could pull it up real quick, which I probably can, but not talk at the same time because I'm not that talented. But Mark is our friend that did the graphic on, and so he did basically like a collab with this guy, and through that he got his board. Now he's like the guy from Dilemma Skateboards is selling it to everybody else.
So he gets royalties for each one that's sold.
I don't know. I think it was probably just like an initial deal. Like he paid him this much for and he's got more
for the graphic.
Yeah. And then the guy's name that runs Dilemma Skateboards is still gonna have to find it. Can you help me out here?
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can find it before you.
I have it on the. You talk. I'll look.
But this is actually the website dilemmaskateboards.bigcartel.com. This is where you can actually buy. It says coming soon, but it's obviously for sale right now.
I'm pretty sure you guys shared some of these images on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I apologize. I don't know the gentleman's name.
I know,
either.
it sucks,
It's,
too,
I think
'cause
it's Garcia, right?
It is for sure, but I don't know.
But anyways, it's easy to find. As soon as you type in Dilemma Skateboards in the Google search, it'll be the very first thing that pops up. So it's just cool. It's cool to see, like, I don't know any of the skating lingo, but it's cool to see somebody doing like a trick off a half pipe and like literally that board is like the focal point of the picture. Like it just is sweet
that is pretty
to have
awesome.
It
that.
was cool to see his board with some actual like scuffs and like grind marks and stuff like that on from people actually using it.
Yeah.
And like the guy was doing like I should probably know this move, but it's basically when you come up the half pipe and like do a handstand off one of your hands.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking
Yeah.
about. I don't know what it's
Man, I
called.
sound-
It's a stall of some kind.
Yeah, I sound like an idiot.
If it was like what when did Tony Hawk Pro Skater come out? If it was like around that time,
92.
Yeah.
if it was around that
93.
time, I probably could have told you exactly what the names of them were.
Fakey no.
Because that was a game I got like really into. Like
Were you good at it?
I mean, I felt like I was, but I've found out recently that I don't think I was as good at video games as I thought because I was always playing with my younger cousins.
Oh, yeah.
So like I was always kicking their ass, and then like I've played with people recently, and I'm like maybe I wasn't as good at this as I thought I was. Because like I was playing, like I always used to think that I was like really good at Super Smash Brothers on the 64, and
Right.
and my wife's younger brother, he and his buddies played it all through college on 64, and they still to this day they're almost I think they're almost in their 30s, but every now and then they'll get together for a weekend, and that's literally because they're all over the country after they graduated, they all moved away, and they get together at somebody's house and spend the whole weekend drinking beer and playing Super Smash Brothers and like Spades, like a card game that they used to play.
Nice.
And so I played against them at their wedding because it was like a week-long event, kind of like a vacation, and they just kicked the shit out of me the entire time. Like I was like, maybe I wasn't as good at this as I thought I was. So I think that's what it is just playing against the younger family members.
Your competition.
Well, guys, I hate to do this. I gotta go use the restroom.
Yeah, it's
real
right out
fast.
there
I know
and to the
we're
right.
we're in the middle of the podcast and everything.
It's weird 'cause-
Shane does it
but-
sometimes.
People don't usually announce when they're going to the bathroom. I'm not sure.
Oh, I have
He's
no
very
shame.
polite.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, we appreciate it.
I'm just peeing if that means anything else to you
Good,
guys.
because Shane usually
And-
takes a
but
shit right when he gets here.
I usually like pee all over the seat. It gets on the side, so it takes me a little bit to clean it up also. But
Does anybody else know of a like? If you go to a certain house or something, like you go to your dad's house, and for whatever reason you always have to take a shit at this place?
Yes, my sister's house.
Yeah, it's like-
I don't know what it is.
It's like you walk in and you're like, I got to shit, and that's how I feel really bad because it's his house.
Well, it's not the house either, I've found. found because my sister moved and it still happens.
It's the person.
At the new house. It's
Oh,
the
wow.
person.
Damn, that's crazy. So maybe it's you. You're making
I don't
me
know.
shit.
Yeah, but it's possible.
You're making my bowels move. Anyways,
But we're wanting to talk a little bit about LeBron James and getting swept by the Warriors, aren't we?
LeBron James.
Yeah, in the sports corner. We don't
Yeah.
really get into sports a whole lot, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I wish we had like an expert that could call in and maybe give us some information on where LeBron may or may not go.
Yeah.
But like it just sucks.
I don't know jack shit about sports. I'm
I
just going to
know.
warn you
So-
guys.
So it sucks that we're just like we don't really know where to go with this.
and we're gonna do. Oh wait, I think we actually may have a phone call.
Oh wow.
We've never had like a live phone call.
Well, maybe whoever it is wants to talk about LeBron James.
So
Maybe.
so who's on the phone right now? It says unknown.
It's your network sports expert, Bob Masterpoon.
Who is this?
How's Bob Masterpoon? I heard you guys were talking about the sports.
The sports, yeah.
Yeah, we were getting ready to talk about Cleveland and the Golden State Warriors. I'm curious, where have I heard you before, Bob Masterpoon?
What? I thought Cleveland should have won it all. But I know that Stephen Curry is spicy like his name.
Yeah, he is spicy. I think that's a good word to represent Stephon Curry.
En fuego.
I think you're thinking of a different Curry there, Bob.
Listen, I like the cricket. Basketball isn't like the cricket.
I've never actually watched cricket, so I don't know what you're talking about, Bob.
Where do you think LeBron James is going to go after? I don't think he's going to stick in Cleveland. Do you think you have any ideas where he might go, Bob Masterpoon?
Well, I think he's going to go to a farm. Because everybody keeps saying he's a goat.
A physical goat.
Are there lots of farms up in Cleveland? I don't know.
Well, I think what they mean by that is the greatest of all time.
Yeah, he could definitely come to Indiana. There's a lot of fields and farms out here.
Look, Michael Jordan would school LeBron James any day of the week.
I don't know. I might have to disagree with you there. I mean, LeBron's one of the greatest of all time, but he was playing in a completely different league.
Look, I play in a cricket league. James, what was your name again? Justin? Look, I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, I mean, cricket's not. I don't think that's as popular of a sport as the NBA. So I don't know where your knowledge comes from, but
You hush your goddamn mouth.
Hey, you're on our show right now.
Who's your favorite all-star cricket player?
Oh, Michael Skoblowski.
Yeah,
He's my favorite.
I somehow knew he was going to have some ridiculous last name. I don't know why, but
You were kind of just picturing that, huh?
yeah, Skowalski.
So what's the number one goal in cricket? So how do you score?
Well, it's kind of like baseball. Have you ever watched baseball?
A few times.
Not
maybe.
a day in my life.
Well, that's how it is. Except their bats are flat, and you play in a grassy knoll instead of a sand pit.
With the flat bats, are they spanking each other's asses quite a bit?
Well, yeah. How else are you going to say good job?
All right.
Well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate your insight, Bob Masterpoon.
Yeah, we really didn't have anybody to really, point us in the right direction of where LeBron might go, and we still don't.
I think he's going to go to a farm. That's
Yeah.
that's a
You think he might start playing cricket instead?
I don't see LeBron having a good cricket future, considering he doesn't have opposable thumbs, because he's a goat. Bye.
See you, Bob.
Well, that was awesome. That was great. That was a great call in.
Man, yeah. That was-
If people want to call in, they're more than welcome to.
I fell in the toilet. Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
all
right, man?
You feel better?
Did you clean up your mess?
You
Yeah, I
mi-
cleaned everything
you,
up.
You missed out.
What'd I miss?
Your buddy Bob Masterpoon called in.
Oh man.
And he's very insightful. He told us that LeBron may be going to a farm.
You can't shake that guy.
No, he's pretty dumb. I don't understand why he's our sports expert when he really only knows about cricket.
How's his rap career going?
That's a different.
You're
guy.
thinking of Ernie Bentley.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
junk and stuff.
You got a
guy.
lot of stalkers or guys that would just kind of won't leave you alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty popular.
Well, and they're
In the age range of like 63 to 74.
Very specific.
Yeah, well,
hey, they know their demo.
Yeah,
They know
I'd
that
say
demo. Man, yeah, that was great. We don't get many callers, so I appreciate it.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, you got him.
yeah, we're sorry.
On a kind of a more serious note, you guys kind of brought up something that was kind of an interesting story coming out of Tucson, Arizona, and it's
Tucson,
no, Tuscan. Life in Tuscan.
Tuscan.
Yeah,
That's
Is
how
there
it's
really a
spelled.
Tuscan?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
you
that's
just
how
you
it's
just
spelled.
mispronounced
No,
it.
I said it wrong on purpose. VOP Alpha Company has. I'm gonna let you say it because
Yeah, I stumbled upon these guys on Facebook. The VOP Alpha Company,
out of Tuscan.
Tucson,
Two skins.
Tucson, Arizona, and they're a veterans homeless camp just out in the deserts of Arizona, from what I've gathered, and they were clearing out some areas for to make some more room because they were getting more people there, and they stumbled upon a human trafficking camp. Full, it had everything from underground prisons to straps, like restraining straps on trees and stuff.
That's crazy.
And
Damn.
so, they tried to get a hold of the government to come down. They called, local sheriff's department, stuff like that. Nobody was responding. So they were like, we're going to tear this camp down and we're going to go drop it off in their front door so they can do forensics and all this stuff. And I'm not too sure what ended up happening with that first camp, but then they found another camp because they were like, we're going to keep looking because these guys just left. Like, they had fresh food. There was like, toothpaste and toothbrushes. They found out these guys had like scouts, like ropes up in these trees. So they had scouts looking around to spot. And they found some tunnels, which they think lead back down towards Mexico.
Oh.
They found a dead skeleton of a little kid.
Oh Jesus.
They found at another camp, they found a knife with like blood on it.
Yeah.
And finally the sheriff's cooperating with them, and the government told them, this was like 3 days ago, said it would take like 5 days for them to send anybody down. So these guys are like, fuck the government. We don't want your help. We'll do this ourselves.
Yeah.
And they've been on Facebook asking for volunteers to go down and help search for these camps because they're trying to find the people.
And
who are
not to
responsible.
sound like, I always do get onto like conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but the Tucson Police Department told the news they sent officers and investigators to search for signs of child trafficking. TPD, which is the Tucson Police Department, reports there is no evidence of human trafficking on the site. The group that discovered the camp disagrees with local law enforcement and have announced that they will remain at the site until law enforcement recognizes the camp for what it is. I just think that's, when you're looking at the pictures and the videos that I've kind of like scrolled through while looking this up, it's kind of like it's a scary thing. It's crazy to think that that actually could be out there, that's happening. Right. In our own country as well. I don't know. It's wild.
But at the same time, it doesn't really surprise me.
Right. Well, and then the company that is, the group has been threatened with arrest since the area is said to be owned by Cemex or CEMEX. It's CEMEX.
That's crazy because I used to work for a CEMEX, concrete company. That's
Yep, that's what it is. It
It's
says the company was founded in 1906 when the Cementos Hidalgo plant in northern Mexico.
Yeah, there's a in Greenfield. There's a CEMEX, which is like Rinker, and then the company is joint with CEMEX, and I used to work for them, and they have worldwide positions all over the country and the world. So that must just be another one of them.
It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy that it still exists. But I mean, we were talking about it on the Smugcast yesterday that there's a lot of just dark humans in the world.
Yeah, I see a lot of stuff, and I don't know how real it is, but on Facebook a lot I see like mothers posting these really long things where they're saying that they were at like Walmart or something, and some weirdo kind of came and was like kind of casing them out and following them around the store. And I've also heard a story about this girl got taken and the guy took her to the bathroom and shaved her head and then tried to walk out of the front door with her like on his...
That happened to my fiance probably like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
At Michael's Crafts.
that's what I'm saying.
Somebody was like following her.
2 guys.
That's crazy.
Followed her all over the store, and she actually had to have the cashier walk her out to her car.
Wow.
And I think they prey on like that specifically, like a mother with their kid.
Well, and when I was a kid, and this probably wasn't sex trafficking or anything, but when I was a very small child, I was in the store with my mom and like kind of walking along behind her, and my mom said that she just like didn't see me, and then she all of a sudden heard me because like the only words I was kind of saying at the time was like no and just like basic words, and she heard me just saying no, and she looked like over her shoulder and behind her, and this like old lady was like walking out of the store with me, and she followed the old lady, and then like a gentleman like somehow like also saw and started following her and stopped her from taking me. And it was just, my mom said it was just a really crazy old lady that she thought maybe just wanted to have a kid or something like that.
Maybe thought you were her kid.
Yeah, or something like that.
Senile
But
old lady.
Have you guys ever seen Raising Arizona?
no.
A
It
long
sounds
time ago.
Yeah, they steal a baby from like a rich family, and there's like.
I think I've seen like bits and pieces.
Oh, it's
of it.
hilarious because it's what's his name, the dude from like Con Air.
Nicolas Cage.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's
Nicolas Cage.
it's one of his best roles because he's like plays this like hillbilly, and him and his wife like, we want a baby, and they like talk like that's how, and they go steal this like rich baby. I know I'm kind of
Rich
taking it.
baby.
Well, like, Boss Baby. My daughter loves that show. But basically, like a family that I'm kind of taking it to like we were being very serious about it, and I'm taking it to like I don't mean to do that, but it's a good movie that people should check out. But yeah, back to the seriousness of the people actually abducting children. And
I just, like I said, I couldn't imagine what would happen like if that, I don't know anybody that's happened to.
Yeah, I always tell like Nicole to like like I'm very like be safe, like because I know that there is creepy people like that. And then she's like, I'm going to TJ Maxx and like stuff like that.
It doesn't matter where you're at.
I know. Yeah, it's like it's just weird. People are creepy, dude. And like I've seen those videos of like a guy trying to like pull the kid out of the store, and the mom's like pulling the kid back. It might have been in a different country, but that doesn't matter. Like that's crazy. And you said like you're not surprised that it happens here in the United. I kind of am, just in the sense of like it doesn't surprise me that. A lot of it doesn't surprise me about what happens here in the United States, but also like I didn't know that there was like actual sex trafficking like camps here in the United States, and that kind of opens my eyes to like to even be more careful now.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on in the world that we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
the entire time.
That's why I like try to desensitize myself, because like there is weird shit going on, and like the more you realize that, the better, because like if you try to like be like ignorance is bliss and all rainbows and sunshine, you're gonna get fucked. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
You're gonna be the one taken.
and I'm gonna call them and be like,
I have a certain set of skills.
skills.
But yeah,
I'm a good cooker.
And it's also crazy how quickly their stuff has grown. In the last 10 days, they've gained over like 20,000 followers on their Facebook page. And
I'm telling you, man, I don't know. They showed a video of that camp, and there was like, they looked like sex straps that you like buy at like Spencer's that you like
crazy.
hook up on your bed or whatever. But they
So
were like
weird.
tied around trees, and they had them at the bottom and 2 up at the top.
Yeah, it's some
And then
creepy
they
shit.
had like portable walls that they could put up in place around these trees
That's
to
insane.
like block them out. And
That's some creepy
there's
ass shit, dude.
prisons, like they found a jail cell underground, and then a few yards away was a hole where they were digging to put another jail cell underground.
Jesus.
Now, what else could that have
Yeah.
fucking been? I mean, I don't know.
I have no clue.
The news is denying it. The government and everybody's denying it, and they're getting pissed off.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's good that these guys were persistent enough to like make this known and getting the story out there and whatnot, and persistent enough to know that something was wrong. Like they could have seen all that stuff and then been like, we're just here to find veterans that have lost their homes or whatever. And
Right.
This is not our business. But instead, they took initiative and got the word
And they're
out there.
unarmed as well. They don't have any firearms or anything. That's why they're asking for help from the police department and the government.
Seems like they're going about everything in the right way.
yeah, and they're not asking for any money.
No.
They're just wanting like supplies and people to come down and help search, because dude was saying that it's been like 2 groups on like a constant patrol trying to find whoever is leaving these camps and stuff. And
It's fucking creepy, dude.
It is creepy. Man, what would you do if that was like how would you react if like your child just was disappeared?
Dude, I've thought about it 1,000 times, because it's like we were talking about on the Smugcast last night, is like I watch people like a fucking hawk, because I have like bad dreams about certain situations where something happens to my daughter or somebody does something weird, or so like I'm always watching people, dude.
And how about you guys? I mean, same situation?
yeah, I mean, it freaks me out. When my daughter was younger, I never used to like, if a stranger would come up like, "Oh, let me hold your kid" or whatever. I didn't. No.
Yeah, don't.
No.
I don't want
People
you
need
to.
to
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
their boundaries. Like
He's
like,
talked about
don't
this.
touch.
Oh,
my,
yeah,
don't
no.
touch my kid. Like I don't care. I don't fucking know you. I don't know where you've been.
How old is your daughter?
She's 3.
3.
And like, I don't give a shit if you're 90. And you
Yeah.
come up and you're like, "Oh,
You never
you're such
know.
a sweetie." I'm like, "Get the fuck away! I don't know you."
I love it.
Like it's just one of those things. Like
Yeah.
that's just common knowledge. You don't go up to people's kids that you don't know, and like I'm gonna go out on a limb and say my daughter doesn't want you to do that anyway. So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know. I just
Probably right.
Yeah.
and old men just love to like, they don't necessarily like come up and touch her face or anything, but they're always like, "She is so beautiful."
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, dude,
You're
like,
gonna have your hands full.
oh yeah, what are you gonna do when she starts dating?" I don't know, man. I'm at the gas station. I'm not trying to fucking talk to you about this right now. Like, go hang out with your grandkids, you weirdo. Like, I don't know.
Well, he's not allowed within 200 feet of his grandkids.
Yeah, and they're like,
so.
I took my daughter to get a ring pop, and the guy at Speedway was like, "Oh, did you get a ring pop? Oh, what flavor?" I was like, "I have to go, dude. I don't have time to talk to you about flavors. And can you just ring me up?"
And does your daughter want to talk to him, or is she like,
Well, she's like never met
'cause
someone
she's-
that she doesn't like in her
she's
whole life.
hilarious. Right. She's all in.
She's like, "Well, I got cherry," and so I'm just like I'm like, okay.
She's one of the most friendly little kids
She
I've ever
is.
met.
Like, I remember when she was like 1.5, we were traveling to Florida to see my mom, and we go to the gas station, and the lady goes, "Oh, she's so cute," and then my daughter like stuck her arms out for her to hold her, and I was like, "No," and the lady was like, "Yeah, cool," and I was like, "No, like,
It's not.
yeah,
yeah.
let's stop this right now.
Yeah, another thing is like I'm like you said, I'm so like cutthroat about it that people will just like, "Oh, she," and I'm like, don't even give them a chance to finish their sentence. I'm like, "Bye,"
Yep.
but my girlfriend will like
Entertain them.
yeah, and they're like, "Oh, well, she's 3 and her name. Tell them your name," and I'm like, "I don't fucking like." I don't like that.
Don't tell
like,
them your name.
And she gets caught.
Keep that to yourself.
She gets caught talking to people all the time. Like, those people that just are out and they'll like, you say one little thing, and they're like, "Oh, well, let me tell you about '76," and like, get into this long ass conversation. I'll just walk away.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Yeah," and then I'm like, "Bye," and I'll just.
See ya.
But then my girlfriend will stay, and then she gets mad at me for like leaving her in that situation.
Yeah, that's how my wife is. She will sit there and talk to somebody
Yeah, I'm
until
like-
that person is for sure done talking
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
And I'm like, ready to go a half hour prior to that.
Yeah, I
but-
went to Aldi before, done all our shopping, and she's still talking to the same lady. I'm like, "You ready to go?" And like, you might want to get the things you want because I'm not gonna sit here and.
Maybe it's just a genius move on her part that she didn't want to walk around Aldi and you did all
That's
the-
probably what it is.
That bitch.
But yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing because we talked about this too. You guys have had plenty of guests on your podcast before. We were talking about it yesterday about people when you're talking to them, they're immediately thinking of what they want to say. So they're not really listening to anything you say. Have you guys had any guests like that, or have you had anybody that you were just kind of talking to and you're like, man, this person did not listen to anything that we talked about?
That's me.
It actually happens to me sometimes.
Like the whole podcast, like, you know, Mark will actually be having like an intelligent conversation with the guest, and I'm just like, what stupid ass thing am I gonna say next? And then I say it, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?"
Oh man, I can really relate with that.
Yeah, and with Shane and I think sometimes, like we've talked about this before, and I'm not trying to retread too many things, but when I'm talking, I'm thinking about what I'm saying, so I have like a slower way of talking, I feel like, and Shane will have something funny he says, and it'll be in the middle of what I'm like saying, and then I feel like I have to address it, but then I'm like, no, I need to not address it because then it'll get me off topic, and I'll forget about what the fuck I was saying.
I'm bad about that.
And so we've gotten a lot better at it though, where we're not like kind of interrupting each other. I mean, sometimes we do when things are getting boring. Like, I mean, I know like this is something that stuck with me really well when somebody told me this from another podcast. They were like, if you're getting bored with a subject, the people listening to you are bored with the subject. They were bored 30 seconds ago. So
Yeah, that
so
makes
just go
sense.
ahead and change it up and go to the next thing. So
Yeah.
but we were just talking about that yesterday because there's people. That's why I was so glad to do the podcast because there's so many people in your life that you interact with on a daily basis that are not listening to anything that you're talking about. They don't care. It's not really even registering. I do it to my wife a lot because I don't understand her job. So like when she's complaining about her job, it's more just like, yeah, that sucks. But then she'll be
I
like,
get that too.
she'll ask you what do you think? And I'm like, whatever you think, because
It's kind of a cop out, but like if you don't understand the like what goes on in her workplace, then
Right.
Because Nicole kind of does the same thing. She'll say some stuff, and I'm like, I don't know like medical lingo, so I don't really know what you're talking
But by the
about.
tone of your voice, it sounds shitty.
Yeah,
And here's
That's all you
here's a
can
back
do,
rub.
though.
yeah. Like you had a bad day. Let me, rub
Yeah.
your feet or whatever.
But yeah, but she does it to me all the time too. Where like, I don't know, we have a pretty good give and take because she'll literally tell me something, and I will not have heard it at all. And then we'll be like getting ready for like the weekend or something. Like, hey, we're going here, and I'm like, we are?
Yeah.
Like, and she's like,
Same.
I've told you like 6 times that we've got this plan this weekend, and I'm like, first I'm hearing of it.
Yeah.
And then I'm having to get ready. So.
Sounds exactly what happens to me. Like I'll find out I'm going to weddings. I'm like I gotta get a suit out and like all this shit. Like I didn't know I was going to a wedding.
But yeah, what else we got on the list over
That's
there?
about it on the list, honestly.
So how did
We are gonna do a little improv at the end of this.
Yeah.
We did, and we can kind of talk about a little more about the power outage that you had before that we got started.
there was a backup plan that I was going to use my little handheld recorder, and then we were going to have Josh be the human mic stand.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a pretty cool just.
Yeah,
little
we could have
move.
used our cell phone to live stream it. It would have worked out.
Old school.
You always got to adapt and overcome, right?
Right.
Well, who said that? Is that Bear Grylls?
That is Bear Grylls.
They were talking about Bear Grylls on Joe Rogan, that there's Survivor Man and then there was Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
And he was like, Bear Grylls is like staying at like the Best Western wherever he's at, like
Yeah.
after they're done filming. But he was like, the Survivor Man guy would actually go
What
out
was his
there.
name? Like Klaus or something?
Some,
Survivor Man. I follow him on.
but he would
Instagram.
actually go out there and live out
Yeah,
there.
and he didn't have anybody with him because he always had his.
He was filming
He
himself.
has his camera set up, and he'll just like talk to the camera and shit. It's pretty awesome.
It's crazy to think like I've always like you always put yourself in this situation. So if you had to survive, do you think you could survive out in the wilderness
No.
with nothing? Like you just get dropped in and you gotta like eat berries and
For about 3 days.
3 days.
That's all I would last.
What about you,
mean-
Josh?
I could 3 to 5, yeah.
3 to
I
5.
don't know. I mean, I I think I could if I had to.
Yeah.
Like if you had to, like
I
I
think
would
you
go
was-
kill a squirrel or some shit.
I
And
think you can surprise yourself about how like your ability to like
Right.
survive if you have
if
to.
I know that I literally had to walk like a mile in one direction and come to like civilization, then I'm gonna
Yeah.
book it that way.
Oh yeah. The thing that I always worry about is like I can't make fire. I don't think. I mean, I've seen it on the movies, like the like wiggling the stick or whatever. But like I can't.
It's all
make,
friction.
Yeah, like I
All you gotta do
can't.
is make friction.
In that case,
And I don't think. I don't know. I don't know how to do a lot of just the basic stuff that you learn in like Cub Scouts.
Right.
Like I just don't remember.
I
any
can
of that
barely start a fire with like lighter fluid and shit.
somebody said Josh's beard would scare off the wild animals.
Oh fuck yeah! Fuck yeah!
I just go find a
That's
bear
why we
and-
keep them around. keeps the bears and the coyotes out of the studio.
You could get a nest in there and then
Yeah.
and take the eggs from the
Eggs, yeah.
nest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
eggs for breakfast.
Yeah, I love when people are commenting while we're doing the show.
I
That's
think
pretty
that
good.
I could survive in the wilderness for like a long time. Like,
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't need the fire, I think I could do it.
like I'm talking about like
What would be your
months.
favorite meal?
Tree bark.
Probably D's.
What?
D's nuts. No, I don't know. It depends on where I'm at
Would
geographically.
you be like a hunter or a gatherer?
I'll be at a both. You got to do both.
Well, yeah.
If you tell me like geographically where I'd be, like if I was on an island, probably be eating a lot of coconuts and bugs and crabs.
Yeah.
You know, crabs.
Fish? You like fish?
I don't mind fish.
Yeah.
They'd probably be pretty gross because I don't know how to fillet a fish correctly, and there'd be a lot of bones involved. But when you're hungry as shit, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
But if I was in the woods, I would probably just like make a spear and or like I think like have you ever what's the Hatchet, the book Hatchet?
We just talked about that last night too.
We did,
I think, or maybe I did.
but we would. I would just like fucking figure it out, man.
Gary
You, like,
Paulson.
I think I could. Like I've been in my backyard, like I fuck kill that animal right now if I had to.
Oh my god! I just thought of this. This is a great story. So Jen's dad is here visiting. Jen's dad has a house out in Goshen, Indiana, and they have a lot of like groundhogs and moles and stuff that like just kind of dig up his yard. So he has told us a story about playing whack-a-mole. He took his water hose and put it into like the mole tunnel, like so that he could flush them out.
Yeah.
And he said, as they were climbing up out of the ground, he took a butcher knife and was stabbing each one.
my
Could you
God.
imagine being the neighbor and looking over and seeing a guy with a butcher knife stabbing,
like making noises with it. I guarantee it.
yeah, stabbing moles to death?
So I have chipmunk.
That's insane.
I have chipmunk.
I feel like that's where that game came from.
For sure. Maybe not with a butcher knife, but
No, probably like a shovel or a hammer or
Right,
something.
when he told me that, we just started dying. Like I couldn't keep it together. I was like, "You got to be kidding me! Like you're not serious."
I
And
have
he was like,
chipmunks in my backyard, and they're known for like chewing on wire and like just fucking stuff up, digging holes, doing all kinds of the same things as a groundhog will do, except on a smaller level.
Yeah.
But there's more of them, and they're fast. And it's funny because like I kill them. Like I killed like 4 last year, and it's funny because I have a pump pellet gun, so I'll pump it inside and load it, and then like I have a window that's right outside my kitchen. That's like right above my sink, and they're out back there, and I'll just like it's funny because like I could imagine someone videotaping me, like the window just goes up real slow.
"Yeah." The gun
just
barrel
see-
comes like.
And then I tried to take a book out of like a sniper's, and then like don't want to expose the barrel, like didn't want to poke the barrel
Yeah.
out of this, so I'm like sitting like, and I fucking killed like 4 or 5 last year.
That's awesome.
One, my sliding door, I was like, I opened it real slow, and this dude was sitting on the edge of a bucket, and I fucking murked him, dude. Like I had to clean his blood up off the. Yeah, but
That's got to be a pretty strong pellet gun too.
But I tried the like more humane. I guess it's not even humane because they're drowning. But there's like this. You can make this thing that there's a bucket and you put water in the bucket, then you put a floating thing with peanut butter on it inside of it, and then you take.
So they just
Hold on, and then there's this ramp that goes up to it, and it's got like a teeter-totter type thing on it. So they're on the heavy end of it, but when they go to step on the other end of it, they fall into the bucket, and then they drown.
Did you learn that from Kevin McAllister?
No, dude. Yeah, I know. I get real into this. My girlfriend makes fun of me all the time, and it's funny because my dad has like I don't know where the fuck he got it, like at a garage sale or something. but he has this like wood cut out of a chipmunk, and then he just wrote on it with marker. He's like, "World's best chipmunk killer," and like gave it to me and thought it was like the funniest fucking thing ever.
Well, it's almost morbid to think about the thing climbing in there, because if they can swim at all, he just tires out eventually.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
That's the worst. Just shoot them.
One time I had, and I didn't get any with that thing though. Unfortunately, I like looked it up online and tried to figure out. But one time, one fell in my pool, and it was in there like tiring out, like you said. And I had this big long like pool.
The scoop.
Yeah, but it's like the flat one. It's not a net. It's like a flat net. So like they just are on it. I scooped him up and just fucking flung him. Like, he had to have went like 50.
Chipmunk catapult.
Yeah. I just imagine like what. Like fucking like
What I'm picturing now is a opportunity for all of us to make a cartoon about Shane and his like chipmunk chipmunk battle.
My girlfriend goes,
I think that would be hilarious.
she's like, chill out, Elmer Fudd. Like, yeah, she gives me shit about it all the time because like she'll see me like pumping the. She's like, oh, here we fucking. And my daughters are like, did you kill them? Are they dead? And like real vulgar with it, so I have to be like secretive kind of about it because like she's like, what are you doing, Dad? Why do you have the pellet gun? You're gonna kill chipmunks? And I'm like, nope. I'm just, I have to be real. Like,
Just putting one right by his ear so that he knows where it's coming from. Kind of warn him. Warning shot first.
yeah, I feel kind of bad, but they really do like fuck stuff
they
up
do.
and
I'm
chew
sure.
on. Yeah,
I'm sure.
I'm not just
They're
like
little
this
pests.
asshole that's killing chipmunks for no reason.
I agree. So, what's the game that you guys were talking about playing for?
I think we should do a little improv scene off of that scenario right there. I was listening. I think that'd be.
So for those of you that don't know, the Pointless Discussion guys are kind of known for their improv and some of the things. What's it?
Planet H.
Planet
is,
H,
is
yeah.
the storyline we're
The
working
current
on.
one.
Yeah.
So you basically, as far as I remembered, everyone gets kind of like a character, and then we go into like a scenario with, I guess we're doing murdering chipmunks.
No, we're just gonna start this out like. I'll just start it out.
Okay.
And then you guys.
Do we know?
We're in a department store.
Do we know who we
We
are
set
yet?
the scenario.
Or
No. You guys come in as whoever you want to come in as. So we'll be Mark and I are working at the head of a department store. I'll tell you the name of it once we get started, and it'll make sense to you.
So we're just. I know. I feel like I'm.
You'll be a customer. You
Okay.
guys are all customers coming in or whatever.
Okay.
And,
All right.
if you want to join in. If not,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go for it. I'm
Mark
gonna
and
sound
I.
like a retard, but
yeah,
No, that's good.
It's fine.
You'll be great.
Well, it's kind of slow here at Chipmunk Killer.
Yeah, man, we're just not getting the customer base that we used to get.
I just don't understand it. We got all the best chipmunk killing equipment.
I know we got the whacker, we got the smasher, the grinder. People just don't want this stuff anymore.
Hopefully somebody comes in soon.
Yeah.
Ding. Oh, who's that?
hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, what's going on, Hank?
Newton.
So you got more chipmunks in your backyard?
Yeah, I've been finding them bastards out for about a week now.
Oh, son of a bitch. I swear they're taking over the whole world.
I know we're all out here worried about ISIS, but there's chipmunks out there.
Right. I've never seen ISIS before, but I sure as hell seen some
Them
chipmunks.
goddamn chipmunks are everywhere.
I'm pretty sure I got the ISIS of chipmunks in my backyard.
You don't say.
I do.
Well,
say.
you should check out this here. We just got it in. It's the Smasher 3900. It's got 16 different settings.
Well, I'm kind of balling on the budget today, and
Well, maybe we'll just give them the 5-setting ones.
Yeah.
And Chuck, why don't you go ahead and tell them what those settings are?
Well, you got the twister here. What it does is it takes their little necks and just kind of gives them just a nice little twist.
I really enjoy the snapping of necks.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna like this one. Next, we have what do we have next? I don't remember the 5 model.
You don't remember?
No,
What the hell am I paying you for?
you're not. I do this surely for pleasure.
Oh yeah. Wait, you just hang out here?
Yeah. I try and sell your products for you because I enjoy killing rodents.
Pro bono? Pro bono?
Yeah.
Oh, here's another one. Holy shit! It's like the DMV up in here.
All right, I'm gonna have to see some permits. I'm with PETA. Animals
shit.
are not ours. There's a article I just wrote on living in harmony with chipmunks. So I really want to see these licenses and see how things work.
I'm confused. Why is the guy with the pita bread here?
No,
It's
no,
not.
you,
It's not.
it's not the bread. These are the people who are against killing of the animals.
Did you bring any hummus?
Absolutely not. The chipmunks are
I'd like some bread
beautiful-
too.
You sons of bitches.
a beautiful little woodland creature. They're charming.
So,
I mean,
so no,
why would you want to kill these things?
no hummus then?
No, there's no. Listen, what'd you say your name was?
I didn't think.
Oh, you didn't? Well, I'm gonna call you Michael. You look like Michael. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, actually, I remember you. We went to high school together. Your name's Michael Stansberry.
Stansberry, yes. Michael Stansberry here. This is my ID. This is my
Yeah, I'm
my
gonna
badge.
need to see those credentials.
My badge. Here you go.
Yeah, what's your badge number, bruh?
9926-742-31.
Man, that's a
Go ahead and
nice.
try to remember that. And
It
repeat.
looks like you printed that at Kinko's.
Yeah, we can't accept these credentials.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
sorry.
not-
Actually, I'm here to see your credentials, so I don't
Oh,
know why you're
well.
checking mine.
Well, I've got this BB gun, and is that a credential?
Is that used to shoot? Is that used to shoot chipmunks? I'm gonna have to confiscate that.
Well, yeah, everything in here is used to kill chipmunks. What the hell?
All right, we're shutting you down.
The flamethrower
Did you
used to kill chipmunks.
Yeah.
Did you not see the sign out front?
It clearly says
That's
Chips.
exactly why I came in.
Chips Chipmunk Killing
This
Depot.
is a unregistered chipmunk
This is
killing
where
situation.
I get all my supplies for killing of the chipmunks.
All right, we're taking.
Look.
We got to take you guys.
And
in.
we even got the human-sized chipmunk in the back, Josh. Look at him. You don't get that shit fucking anywhere else.
All right, whatever you use to kill the chipmunks, you can go ahead and use on this person.
No, we can't do that.
No, he's our mascot.
If you take me in, do you realize what the chipmunks will do to my backyard?
How many bulbs will get dug up while he was gone?
My elephant ears, which is a plant, will get ruined. And I ain't about that.
What was your plant?
Elephant ears.
Elephant ears.
They look similar to an elephant's ear.
Okay,
That's where they get their name.
that's how that's how the chipmunks get to a larger size, though. So that's
They grow them in Tuscan.
We definitely need you to continue to do that.
This one got this size because I had sex with a chipmunk.
On that note, am I free to go?
This operation is way over my pay
What
grade.
is wrong with this operation? I don't see.
We're just selling killing stuff.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go grab the big guns and PETA. So I'll be right back.
This is clearly out of your... Okay, bye.
Right, everybody, we need to grab all this shit and we need to make our way to Tuscan, Arizona.
I'm still confused why he is from PETA and he has zero bread.
God damn it, Hank.
All right, well, I guess I'll head out. I'm going to run out the back door and get my PT Cruiser and get out of here. My purple PT Cruiser that I'm still making payments on.
How's that riding mower going? You still working pretty good?
I got to go.
I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, the pita bread thing I like. That was good. I was a fan of that. Yeah,
All right, and that's how they do it over there at Pointless Discussions.
and it's typically like they do a really good job. Josh adds in sound effects that make it almost.
Yeah,
it's
where were
just-
your sound effects at, Josh?
Oh, my bad.
He didn't bring the soundboard this
He
time.
only was a giant chipmunk. And
Yeah.
Clearly couldn't talk.
All right, so where on earth can people find you and your podcast and all the other stuff that you guys share and create media wise?
You lean forward like you were gonna say
Oh,
something.
I thought he was talking about me personally.
Yeah, where can they find you, Mark?
You can check your local whorehouse, sometimes under the bridge. And
Usually under the bridge.
Yeah, I'm usually under the bridge blowing homeless guys. And
I'm going to need a longitude and latitude.
I'll email it to you.
Okay.
I don't really want to divulge that on the air because
Okay.
I've kind of found
All right.
the sweet spot.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want too many people knowing about it. But yeah, usually that's where you can find me.
All right, appreciate that.
All right,
So-
but if you want to find the podcast, Facebook.com/Pointless Discussions Podcast. Twitter is PD_podcast. You can find us at MagicSquirrelNetwork.com, TangentBoundNetwork.com. Just search us. We're on like pretty much anything. And we figured out you only have to type in Pointless D.
Nice.
So that's all you need.
Everybody could take some pointless D, couldn't they?
That sounds like a feminist. Like those D's are pointless.
Yeah, and like you guys' reach is really growing. It's awesome to see everything with the Magic Squirrel Network, and also to see like all the different types of things that you guys have been able to bring to the table. Like you've got the guys that do the Choose Your Own Adventure,
Diabolical.
Yeah,
Index.
you got Diabolical Index. I'm just gonna pull it up because I can't remember.
My
every
favorite
name.
show on the network is Van Damme. It's Jean-Claude.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
It's a monthly Jean-Claude Van Damme movie review podcast. And
Yeah, you thought you knew a lot about Jean-Claude Van Damme before that. Now you probably know. Like I remember you saying that you like have a whole page full of notes on Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The first episode was Bloodsport. Yeah. That was 5 pages of notes I took.
Anything interesting about Bloodsport that
That
you
we
wanna
didn't know?
Yeah, that you might like.
Did-
Turns out he actually threw real sand in his eyes.
Well, I mean, the whole story's supposed to be true, but there's no like accounts other than Frank Dukes' account that
Right.
it's actually true. So
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, go to the movie. People are like, yeah, dude, I went over to Asia and fucking beat a bunch of people's ass, and they,
Yeah.
I was in the Kumite and I won a golden dragon,
Right.
and here I am, and I just want you guys to sell this movie to you.
I mean, the thing I find most fascinating by that is the extensive training that Frank Dukes made Jean-Claude Van Damme go through in order to play him.
Splits, lots of splitting.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty intense, and it got to the point where Jean-Claude Van Damme called Frank Dukes up to the roof of the studio that they were shooting in to fight him, and like they go up there, and like Frank Dukes went up by himself, and like Jean-Claude had like a posse with him or whatnot, and they nothing. I can't find out exactly what happened, but they didn't actually end up
They
fighting.
didn't actually fight.
Have you ever heard the story that Jean-Claude Van Damme got his ass beat like out in public at some point? Have you ever heard that?
No, but I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah,
now.
I kind of like I heard that, but I don't know the specifics of it. I thought you might, but
Yeah, the Magic Squirrel Network has Cannibal Wine Tasting, Anamonkai, the Diabolical Index, Heckles and Horror, which I feel like that one's like really like getting a lot of following, a lot of traction.
Well, yeah, he TJ Travis over there, he he works on movies and
Yeah.
shit, so he's got quite a big
I think
following.
the Juggalo thing might have something to do with it too. Like they really are a family.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane to think about because like I've seen the reach from those videos where it's like like 2,000 or 3,000 people have like been touched by that video. I don't know if that sounded right, but and then you got the Pointless Discussions, obviously late night classics with Neo Rage as well. I've joined you for a couple of those. It's usually after I've gotten home from drinking a little bit, so I do try to talk a lot on them. So if I'm ever too annoying with that, I apologize. But yeah, like it's great to see everything. It's awesome that I feel like in just a little over a couple of years, like I mean things have like really changed for all of us. I mean,
Right.
we know more people. Shane and I talked about it yesterday on the Smugcast that there's more that we've met more people and talked to more people than I would have ever imagined. Really quick before we get out of here, I know that we don't like to get super political on here unless we have people that are experts, but my buddy Cam posted something on Facebook, and I just wanted to get really quick your guys' take. It's so this guy wore this shirt. It says "fuck Trump" and "fuck you too" for voting for him, and it says "fuck the racist alt-right." So ultimately, the issue that I have with this is not anything really. It's not really anything political. It's the fact that he goes through he tells this whole story on here. You can you can read it on your own. I'm sure you can find it if you want to look it up. But to me, it's one of those things that by doing this, he talks about how certain people like praised him for the shirt, certain people were like offended by it, certain people blah 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 blah. Anyways, my issue with it is by doing that, you're instantly already creating a bigger divide between the people that like that don't like each other right now.
Right.
So the African American gentleman that said that shirt's cool, is now further away from talking to that person that is offended by it, by it being something that they support politically, like if they support Trump or whatever they do. Like that's dividing them further now, because that person's like, fuck that guy for wearing that shirt, and this person's like, that shirt's cool. So I feel like it's driven them farther apart than trying to get them to agree on something. And I just think that this is one of those things that somebody is going out there and doing to get attention, and I don't think it's the right way of going about it by wearing that.
I mean,
that's just my thought.
My only issue with that, like, I'm all for freedom of speech and whatnot, but like, I don't want my daughter seeing a shirt that's like "fuck this" and "fuck that" and blah blah. That would be my only issue with it. I mean, there's really no. What is he accomplishing?
That was my first thought when I saw it and read the story. And and that's like, I think that's not the way you want to go about it if you're trying to change something, is to piss people off, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. That's just my thought. And when I commented on it, I just said, I love you, bud, and I do. I love you, Cam. But this, because Cam said this guy's.
Were you talking to the camera? That's weird.
You nicknamed
Shame. Does he always do that?
I just got it. I was like, what is he? Cam, got it.
But I said, I love you, bud, because he had posted this guy's a hero. And I was like, this guy's not a hero. All he's doing is furthering the separation and tribalism of our current system. It says, basically, let's hate each other because we disagree instead of trying to bring people together. And I feel like he has a valid point. He says he's hating on racism and a horrible president. I don't think that's a bad thing to separate people from. But that's not really where I was going. Right. So, but I'm not going to get into a debate with him on Facebook.
So it's like kind of the thing where, like, I get what you're saying, because like nothing good is going to come from that guy's shirt. Mm-hmm. He's basically saying on his shirt what a whole bunch of people have already said. Yeah. It's very clear that a large portion of the United States will say fuck Donald Trump. Mm. I think that's very, like, everyone knows that, so I don't think him wearing that, fuck all that bullshit, it's going to help any kind of situation. And I think it honestly does, like you said, more harm than it does good. And also what you said, I don't want my daughter walking out and saying there's some guy's shirt that says fuck on it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's really no positive that comes from him doing that other than pointing out the observation that he has a very specific political view, and that it's not doing any good to anybody. I think the only thing that anytime we're going to have any kind of change when it comes to political is when people like sit down and have a rational conversation about some of the things that one side and the other does. Like, I agree with some of the stuff that, Democrats do, and I also would agree with some of the stuff that Republicans do, but I don't think it's fixing anything or having any kind of positive impact at all by wearing that shirt.
Right. I'm glad that we kind of agree on that. But also, like I said, I love that guy. He's one of my best friends, but he definitely has some very very controversial opinions that he and I argue about on a pretty regular basis.
Which is exciting, and it's cool that you guys can still be cool with each other and have such different opinions on things. I think it's important to have friends around that all believe what you believe, so that can keep you on your feet and kind of inform you of things that you may not have thought about because you're so biased because your opinion leans a certain way.
I do appreciate when people challenge you,
challenge you on your idea. And like we've talked about this, I'm always open to learn something new and have my mind change. Yeah. So if you can come to me and be like, listen, this is how it really is, and you're not seeing it this way, I'm open-minded enough to like think about what you're saying, take it into consideration, and maybe possibly change the way that I look at things.
Absolutely. So before we go, we always like to go out to a song. Shane and I kind of talked about it, and how did we get on the Post Malone?
Because
he just performed here in Indianapolis, right?
And he posted something with Dwight Yoakam, which is hilarious because I love Dwight Yoakam and I like Post Malone.
So do we want to go out to that song, or do we want to listen to the Dwight Yoakam song first? Because I have them both.
I think it'd be better, since Post Malone is so relevant, to go the opposite way and go out to a Dwight Yoakam song.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, this is Post and Dwight together.
Okay. Well, that works too.
And it's pretty short, but and there's an ad.
Let me just say,
definitely wasn't Dwight Yoakam.
Dwight Yoakam is a great actor as well. He's in a lot of movies that you probably don't know that he's in.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
But once again, guys, thanks for coming
Yeah,
to do the
thanks for having
show.
us on.
We're excited to always have you guys on because you guys are, I feel like, kind of part of the extended family of this podcast
Yeah.
thing that we've kind of gotten into.
Thanks for making the trip too.
Yeah, no problem.
They're over in Cincinnati, Ohio. Do you guys have any other stuff planned in the future that you think that you would like to put out there or just kind of make people excited for?
Just head over to Magic Squirrel Network. The Facebook page is facebook.com. Magic
And they're
Squirrel
pumping
Network.
stuff out, good stuff
Yeah.
all the time that, if there's going to be something that you're into, if you go to that page and you look at all the stuff that's being put on there.
We got like a cartoon video game thing that we did some voice acting on that we're waiting
Yeah.
to come out. Like it's in the
The final production
yeah.
stages.
Production phase.
That's awesome.
And I don't know when that's coming out.
Yeah.
And then so
But I mean, that's why I feel like we kind of really clicked when we first met because you guys do the kind of same thing I think I do, which is we're going to try to do it no matter what. Like we're going to adapt and try to figure out how we can actually get the project done that we want to get done. And sometimes sometimes it's a home run. Sometimes maybe it's like just the middle of the road, but at least we did it and we learned from it and we're going to try to do it again. So I think that's an awesome
Look
thing.
forward to part 4 of Planet H.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's probably going to be my favorite part of the whole story arc.
Awesome. I can't wait for that.
This comes out
This comes out tomorrow.
Monday.
Yep.
So
June 11th.
tomorrow, part 3 compilation of Planet H comes out.
I like when you guys do that too. That's awesome.
On the Magic Squirrel Network.
Well, that'll be on our pointless discussions.
On Pointless Discussions.
Pointless discussions.
Yeah.
That you can find on the Magic Squirrel
You can
Network.
find it on
there we
MagicSquirrelNetwork.com.
Yep,
Yes.
this is Dwight Yoakam, and I think this has been a good episode.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I think that I can't wait for you guys to come back and join us again. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Yep.